Hello, welcome to our next lecture. Today I'm going to give you a quick introduction to the film Babies. This is a fantastic film released in 2010 by director Thomas Baums. And within this film, we're going to follow 4 babies from different parts of the world through their first year of life. We're going to meet Pony Zhao from Namibia, Mari from Japan, Bayar from Mongolia, and Hattie from San Francisco in the United States. This film is a documentary film, although it does use a lot of ethnographic field techniques. Ethnographic, of course, means a visual portrayal of a culture. This film is edited, and it is set to music. Most ethnographic films are not, but I want you to pay attention to how the different cultures and the interactions of the people unfold within the film. Something really important for you to remember as you're watching this film is Franz Boas's notion of cultural relativism. Now you're going to see some practices and child-rearing techniques in the film that might make you uncomfortable. You're going to travel to different parts of the world where perhaps you have never seen images or video from these places. Now keep in mind, these are other cultures, and they're going to do things differently, and not necessarily in ways that you are comfortable seeing. You will see babies being breastfed out in the open. You will see babies running free without direct adult supervision. And you might see some other practices that might make you uncomfortable. And that's okay. This is something new, and as new anthropologists, sometimes we have to take a step back and really try to understand our own biases before we can learn from another culture. While you're filling out the worksheet that goes along with this film, please do not be ethnocentric. Just because you're used to seeing babies in your own culture and you're familiar with the tools and techniques that are used here in America, that doesn't necessarily always mean that that's the best way to raise a baby, the best way to teach a baby, or the best way to handle a baby. There are many right ways of caring for and teaching and socializing a baby. They just might not be familiar to you. Do your best to refrain from using derogatory terms such as dirty, or primitive, or poor, or wrong, or gross. Just remember that people are doing things differently, and they don't always have access to all of the tools and technology that you may have. The first part of the world that you will be visiting in the film Babies is Namibia. This is home to the Himba, indigenous people with a population of about 50,000. They live in northern Namibia, near the Kuna River in Angola. The Himba are hunter-gatherers and live on a subsistence economy. This means they are primarily livestock farmers, where they raise sheep and goats, and they also have crops such as maize or corn and millet. They use their livestock for milk and meat, and they also have cornmeal, chicken, eggs, and wild honey. Women and girls do most of the labor-intensive work in the village. They create the wood homes that have a mixture of red clay soil and cow manure. They also cook and serve food and do all of the child rearing and the raising of babies. It is not uncommon to see one woman or girl take care of another woman's children. It is also very common for the men in the tribe to be far away from the family for long, extended periods of time, mostly because they are tending to their livestock. Both the Himba men and women and the extended family typically live in an Onganda, a small family village. And within this small village, you're going to see several of the circular huts that you see in the image here. There are also work shelters, and they surround a sacred ancestral fire called an Okuruwu, as well as a central enclosure for their sacred livestock. Because of the desert climate in their region, they have had much success maintaining seclusion from the outside world. They also live in protected land. That means that their human rights are being protected in a secured camp. And this is Pony Jau, the baby that we will see grow up among the Himba in Namibia throughout the film Babies. Our next baby is Mari, and Mari lives in Tokyo, Japan, in the heart of Tokyo, one of the most densely populated cities on the planet. Here, Mari lives with her mother and father in a very small apartment embedded within a capitalist and industrial economy, one that we in the United States are familiar with. Many of the things that Mari does are going to be familiar to you as well, such as the toys she plays with and the daycare that she attends. However, keep an eye out for some of the structures and some of the practices that might be a little bit different than what we're used to seeing. Our next family focuses on Bayar, the baby in Mongolia. Bayar's family is nomadic. That means that they travel from one area to another in a camp. Here we can see several of the yurts that Bayar and his family inhabit. You can see in the distance the livestock that Bayar's family owns. They are nomadic because the livestock that they have must graze on land, and when all of the land has been used up, the family must move. You're going to see that Bayar and his brother spend a lot of time outdoors, as well as a lot of time which seems to be on their own. But don't worry, their mom is always close by. The final baby that you're going to meet in the film is named Hattie. Hattie is born in San Francisco in the United States of America. Hattie is going to be most familiar for all of you. Her lifestyle and her family and her home, they use a lot of classic American tools and techniques for raising a baby. However, it must be noted that Hattie's family is also upper middle class, and they are also white. This affords them privileges that not all families in the United States might have. So please keep that in mind while you're watching this film. Finally, as you're watching, I really want you to think about definitions of family and kinship. Family is a group of people affiliated by blood relation, affinity, or co-residence. In most societies, it is the principal institution for the socialization of children. Usually, anthropologists and sociologists divide family into nuclear and extended. With some of the babies in the film, like Hattie and Mari, you will see that they live in a nuclear family structure. However, Bayar and Pony Jau live with an extended family. Kinship is studied extensively in anthropology. It is the relationship between people that share a genealogical origin through either biological, cultural, or historical descent. In anthropology, the kinship system includes people related by descent, lineage, and marriage. Kinship is one of the most basic principles for organizing individuals into social groups, roles, categories, and genealogy. So keep that in mind. Our next lesson, you're going to focus more specifically on kinship and family, and you will have the opportunity to track and design a kinship diagram that demonstrates your family structure. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.